Vaults of power, inside the world's gold reserves. Gold is power. Why these vaults exist? Gold has always been more than just a metal. For thousands of years, it has been a universal symbol of wealth, security, and influence, a tangible measure of power that transcends borders, cultures, and political systems. Long before modern banking, gold was the ultimate form of currency, prized for its rarity, durability, and resistance to corrosion. Ancient civilizations stored it in temples, treasuries, and fortified palaces, understanding that to control gold was to control economic and political destiny. The Romans kept their reserves in the Temple of Saturn, guarded day and night, while medieval kingdoms hid their gold in castles and monasteries. In the age of exploration, gold from the Americas fueled the rise of empires like Spain and Portugal, and in the 19th century, Britain's vast reserves underpinned the pound sterling's dominance as the world's reserve currency. This enduring relationship between gold and power set the stage for the 20th century's most important monetary framework, the gold standard. Under the gold standard, the value of national currencies was directly tied to a fixed quantity of gold, creating a global system of trust and stability. This lasted until 1971, when the United States abandoned the system, ushering in an era of fiat currency. Yet even without a formal gold standard, nations have continued to hold immense reserves, not for daily transactions, but as a strategic safety net. In times of crisis, economic collapse, hyperinflation, war, gold can serve as a last resort asset, universally recognized and easily traded. The existence of massive gold reserves is as much about psychology as it is about economics. For the public, knowing that a nation's currency is backed, at least in part, by tangible assets can inspire confidence. For governments, gold reserves serve as both a political statement and an insurance policy. The image of impenetrable vaults filled with gleaming bars reinforces the idea of stability and permanence, even in turbulent times. This symbolic power has made gold reserves a tool of geopolitical influence. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union stockpiled gold as part of their strategies to project strength. Today, emerging powers like China, India, and Russia have been steadily increasing their holdings, sending a clear message about their long-term ambitions. Recent years have also seen a wave of gold repatriations, with countries like Germany, Turkey, and the Netherlands moving their reserves back from foreign vaults. Such actions often signal a desire for greater sovereignty and a reduced reliance on foreign powers in times of uncertainty. The location and protection of these reserves are a matter of national security. Some vaults, like those beneath the Bank of England, are buried deep underground in reinforced chambers. Others, such as Switzerland's private underground vaults in the Alps, rely on both geography and secrecy. In many cases, the exact amount of gold held and its precise location is classified, hidden even from allied nations. This secrecy is deliberate. Revealing too much could invite economic manipulation or political pressure. Ultimately, gold vaults exist because gold itself remains beyond the reach of political fiat. It cannot be printed, its supply is finite, and its value is recognized across cultures and centuries. In a digital age where most wealth exists as intangible numbers, gold's physical presence offers something rare: the assurance of solidity. A gold bar is not a promise or a projection. It is a fact, heavy and immutable. As we journey deeper into this world, we'll see that the story of gold vaults is not just about economics, but about the intersection of history, politics, and engineering. The gleaming bars locked away beneath our feet are silent guardians of national identity, economic survival, and the shifting balance of global power. Treasures that, for many, represent the last unshakable foundation in an uncertain world. Legendary vaults around the world. Beneath city streets, inside mountain ranges, and hidden under layers of secrecy lie some of the most famous and most misunderstood gold vaults on Earth. Each one has its own story, its own security measures, and its own myths, but all share the same purpose: to protect the world's most universally valued asset. Perhaps the most legendary of all is Fort Knox in Kentucky, USA. Built in 1936, its reinforced concrete and steel structure has become a symbol of impenetrability. The vault is said to contain more than 4,500 metric tons of gold, though exact numbers remain classified. The perimeter is guarded by military police, motion detectors, and razor wire. Inside, a 22-ton blast door stands between intruders and the gold. Over the years, Fort Knox has been the subject of countless rumors, from conspiracy theories claiming the gold is gone to Hollywood plots imagining elaborate heists. In reality, very few people have ever seen its interior, and public access is nearly impossible. Across the Atlantic, beneath the bustling streets of London, lies the Bank of England's gold vaults, which hold more than 400,000 gold bars belonging to the UK government, foreign states, and private clients. These vaults sit deep underground in reinforced chambers, accessible only through an elaborate sequence of security checks, including keys more than a foot long. The air is cool and dry to preserve the metal, and the vault's capacity is so vast that it is said the floor could buckle under the weight if it were not specially reinforced. In the heart of the Swiss Alps, another kind of vault exists, one designed not only for security but for absolute discretion. Switzerland's private underground vaults are carved directly into mountains, hidden from plain sight. Clients include billionaires, corporations, and even governments seeking a location outside their own borders. These facilities combine natural fortification with high-tech defenses, biometric scanners, climate control, and armed guards. The exact locations are never disclosed, and some even offer bonded storage, meaning the gold can be bought, sold, or transferred without ever physically leaving the vault. Then there's the Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway. While it doesn't store gold, it deserves mention for its similar philosophy of safeguarding what is considered irreplaceable. Located on a remote Arctic island, it holds seeds from nearly every known crop on Earth, protecting them against war, climate disaster, and extinction. Though not monetary wealth, it is a different form of global security, a vault that protects life itself. Other notable vaults include the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's Gold Vault, which rests 80 feet below street level and even below sea level, housing reserves for multiple nations. There's also the Banque de France vaults in Paris, which hold both national reserves and gold for other central banks. Each of these locations combines extreme security measures with meticulous inventory systems, ensuring that not a single gram is unaccounted for. These vaults are more than just storage spaces. They are part of a global network of trust and deterrence. A nation's gold, safely stored, can stabilize its currency and strengthen its negotiating position on the world stage. And for individuals or institutions, placing gold in a secure vault provides assurance that wealth will survive economic crashes, natural disasters, or political upheaval. Yet the mystique of these places persists. They are rarely seen by the public, often guarded by secrecy, as much as by steel and concrete. Stories of hidden tunnels, decoy vaults, and elaborate defense mechanisms only add to their allure. The truth in most cases is far less cinematic, but far more fascinating in its precision, engineering, and discipline. From the fortified plains of Kentucky to the quiet valleys of Switzerland, these legendary vaults stand as monuments to human ingenuity and our unshakable faith in a single glittering metal. As we move forward, we'll see that their protection goes far beyond walls and doors, extending into the invisible realm of digital security, where the next great challenge to gold's safety is already unfolding. The art of security. To most people, the security of a gold vault begins and ends with its imposing steel door. In reality, the door is only the first layer in a complex, multi-dimensional defense system designed to deter, detect, and neutralize any threat, often before it even reaches the building. The art of vault security lies in combining physical barriers, cutting-edge technology, and human vigilance into a seamless protective web. At the outermost perimeter, high-security vaults employ layered barriers, fences topped with razor wire, anti-vehicle trenches, and surveillance towers. Modern systems integrate seismic sensors that detect vibrations from digging or drilling, along with pressure plates capable of registering footsteps. Some facilities use infrared motion detectors or microwave radar to detect movement even in total darkness. The goal is to create a zone where any intrusion attempt triggers an immediate security response. Once inside the outer perimeter, an intruder faces multiple checkpoints. One of the most effective deterrents is the man trap or airlock, a small chamber with two doors that cannot be opened simultaneously. To pass through, a person must first undergo identity verification, often using biometric systems like fingerprint scans, iris recognition, or even vein mapping. These technologies have evolved to become nearly foolproof, eliminating the risk of stolen keycards or passwords. Inside the vault building itself, the door remains a masterpiece of engineering. Many modern vault doors weigh tens of tons, made from composite materials designed to resist explosives, drills, and even thermal cutting torches. Some use time locks, meaning they can only be opened during specific pre-programmed windows, even if the correct credentials are presented. Others feature relocking devices that activate automatically if tampering is detected, sealing the vault tighter than before. But in the 21st century, securing gold isn't just about keeping people out, it's also about protecting digital systems. Vault operations are managed through highly encrypted computer networks, controlling everything from access logs to environmental conditions. These systems are hardened against cyber attacks using air-gapped networks, physically isolated from the internet, and multi-layer encryption. In the most advanced facilities, quantum cryptography is being explored to create communication channels that are theoretically impossible to intercept. An often overlooked component of security is misinformation. Some vaults have decoy rooms filled with gold-plated bars or less valuable metals to mislead intruders. In rare cases, entire dummy vaults have been built to conceal the real location of reserves. Such psychological tactics increase the uncertainty for any would-be attacker, making the odds of success vanishingly small. Human oversight remains indispensable. Elite security teams, often with military or intelligence backgrounds, are trained not only in armed response, but in crisis management and counter-surveillance. They work in coordination with local law enforcement, military units, and, in some cases, private contractors specializing in risk assessment. This human element can adapt to unpredictable scenarios far better than any automated system. Ultimately, the art of vault security is about deterrence as much as defense. The more impossible a vault appears to penetrate, the less likely anyone is to try. By combining visible measures, like armored doors and armed guards, with invisible ones, like digital intrusion detection and misleading architecture, vault designers create an environment where the perceived risk outweighs any potential reward. As we'll see in the next chapter, these systems are put to the test in extreme conditions. From legendary facilities like Fort Knox to remote mountain strongholds, the history of gold vaults is full of moments where security was challenged, and in most cases proved unbreakable. But not all attempts have failed, and some have become part of vault lore forever. Gold in times of crisis. Gold vaults are not just static repositories, they are strategic lifelines. In times of economic turmoil, war, or political instability, these vaults transform from silent fortresses into active tools of survival and influence. The way nations and institutions leverage their gold in crises reveals just how critical these reserves are to global stability. Throughout history, gold has served as the ultimate fallback when paper currencies failed. During World War II, European nations rushed to secure their gold abroad, often sending it across oceans to prevent it from falling into enemy hands. Norway famously evacuated its reserves under the noses of invading German forces, transporting them by ship and train to Britain, then on to the United States and Canada. For these nations, gold meant the ability to rebuild and maintain sovereignty even in exile. The Cold War provided a different kind of urgency. With the threat of nuclear conflict ever present, both NATO and Warsaw Pact members maintained substantial gold reserves in secure, often undisclosed locations. Gold was seen as the one form of wealth that could survive a total breakdown of the global financial system. In this era, vaults were not only storage spaces, but also integral parts of continuity of government plans, ensuring that a functioning economy could be re-established after catastrophe. In the modern era, gold continues to play a critical role during financial crises. The 2008 global recession reignited interest in gold as a safe haven asset, driving prices to record highs. Nations like China, Russia, and India have dramatically increased their holdings since then, diversifying away from foreign currency reserves and reducing exposure to volatile markets. In some cases, countries have used gold to secure emergency loans or trade agreements when traditional financing was unavailable. Gold also plays a role in geopolitical leverage. During sanctions or diplomatic standoffs, nations have turned to gold as a medium of exchange outside the reach of conventional banking systems. For example, Iran and Venezuela have used gold to conduct trade despite economic embargoes, transporting physical bullion to allies and partners willing to bypass the dollar-based financial system. In this way, gold can operate as a form of financial independence, immune to many of the tools of modern economic warfare. On a smaller scale, private investors and corporations also turn to vault-stored gold during uncertain times. Whether it's a multinational corporation protecting capital from currency fluctuations or a billionaire safeguarding wealth against political instability, private vaults in Switzerland, Singapore, and Dubai have seen spikes in demand during every major global crisis. However, crises also test vault security in ways peacetime never does. Political unrest can lead to attempts to seize national gold reserves, either legally through regime change or illegally through theft. In 2011, during the chaos of Libya's civil war, significant portions of the nation's gold reserves vanished, reportedly used to finance military operations and buy loyalty. Similarly, after the fall of the Soviet Union, questions swirled around the fate of some of its gold, much of which was never fully accounted for. These moments underscore why vaults are designed not only to store, but to move gold quickly and securely when needed. Secure transport operations, involving armored convoys, disguised shipping containers, and even military escorts, are part of every major vault's crisis plan. The ability to relocate reserves at short notice can mean the difference between economic survival and collapse. In the end, gold's value in crisis lies in its universality. No matter the language, culture, or political system, a gold bar has intrinsic worth. When digital systems fail, when currencies collapse, and when trust in governments evaporates, gold remains, heavy, tangible, and above all, accepted. The vaults that guard it are not just monuments to wealth, but safeguards against the worst-case scenarios humanity hopes will never come. The future of gold vaults. As technology evolves and global threats shift, the gold vaults of tomorrow will look very different from the fortresses of the past. While the core mission remains unchanged, to protect one of the world's most enduring assets, the methods, materials, and even the locations of these vaults are poised for transformation. One major driver of change is the digitalization of security systems. Future vaults are likely to integrate AI-driven threat detection, capable of identifying suspicious activity before a breach attempt even begins. Using vast data streams from sensors, cameras, and access logs, artificial intelligence will be able to detect patterns invisible to human operators, predicting threats rather than merely reacting to them. In some experimental facilities, AI already controls climate systems, lighting, and biometric access points, creating an environment that is both secure and efficient. The materials used to construct vaults are also evolving. While reinforced concrete and steel remain the backbone of security, researchers are developing self-healing materials that can automatically repair cracks or damage. Advances in nanotechnology could produce coatings that resist cutting, drilling, or heat. Some designs envision walls infused with smart fibers, capable of detecting and reporting tampering in real time. Location strategy is changing as well. Traditional vaults have been placed in politically stable countries or financial centers, but tomorrow's reserves may be stored in more remote, fortified environments, deep within mountains, under polar ice, or even on artificial islands. The idea is to combine geographic inaccessibility with technological defense, creating layers of difficulty for any would-be attacker. The growing role of space-based infrastructure could also influence vault design. Just as satellites now monitor crops, shipping lanes, and military movements, they could provide continuous oversight of vault perimeters, tracking heat signatures, movement, and environmental changes from orbit. This watch from above approach would add another layer of deterrence, making a coordinated attack far more complex. In the realm of digital security, quantum cryptography is likely to become standard for any vault with networked systems. Theoretically unbreakable, it could secure communications between security personnel, financial institutions, and government agencies. Combined with blockchain-based tracking of gold bars, this would create an incorruptible digital ledger, ensuring that every piece of bullion is accounted for from the moment it enters storage until it leaves. The human element will also evolve. While technology will handle much of the detection and monitoring, specialized rapid response teams will remain crucial. These units may be equipped with advanced exoskeletons for mobility, non-lethal incapacitation devices, and augmented reality visors that overlay live data about the situation they are facing. Psychological training will be just as important as physical preparedness, given the high stakes of vault protection. Perhaps the most intriguing possibility is the rise of multi-purpose vaults, facilities that protect not only gold, but also other critical assets, such as rare earth metals, genetic material, and digital archives. These vaults could become central hubs of global stability, safeguarding resources vital to technology, agriculture, and even civilization itself. Yet, for all these innovations, the symbolic power of gold will remain. No matter how advanced the vault, the heart of its purpose is unchanged: to guard something universally recognized as valuable, something immune to inflation, political shifts, or technological obsolescence. The future may bring new defenses, new locations, and new forms of integration with the digital world. But the core idea that gold is worth protecting at any cost will endure. In the chapters before, we explored how gold vaults emerged from history, evolved into today's impenetrable fortresses, and proved their worth in times of crisis. Now, we look ahead to a future where the line between physical and digital security blurs, and where the world's most valuable metal will be guarded not just by walls of steel, but by an entire ecosystem of innovation and vigilance. If you've made it this far, you now know the secrets behind the world's most secure vaults. But trust me, there's so much more hidden beneath the surface. Gold might be the ultimate treasure, but it's the way we protect it that truly shows our ingenuity. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't just disappear into the shadows. Hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next journey into the world's most guarded secrets. And if you think vaults are impressive, wait until you see what's hiding in the world's mega bunkers. Click right here to watch that video next. See you there.